Hello, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Know Before You Owe. There's been a lot of talk this week about 50-year loan. Trump and Mr. Pulte, the FHFHA commissioner, have been talking a lot about ways to create affordability. Well, this option that you see on my screen really isn't an option to really consider. The reason why is because I want to show you as a consumer what it means to you in overall payment. So a lot of times people think a longer term of a loan means a better payment. Well, in this example, I took a $500,000 loan and I took it from a perspective of a 30-year fixed and a 50-year fixed term. As you can see in the rates, there is a 6% rate and a 6.25% rate. Normally, you'll see a small premium for longer terms. The reason why is banks want to make money. So the longer the term, the more interest they want to have. In this example, you'll see that at 6% on a $500,000 loan, the payment would be $29.97. Well, on the same 50-year term, the payment would be $27.24. So a difference of right around $275 a month. That sounds like a great number, but in reality, we want to look at the total cost of borrowing money over the life of the loan. A lot of times people think of the mortgage rate as the most important part, and when in reality, it is your overall payment monthly and the expenses you're going to have over the life of the loan. So in this example, you'll see that the total interest paid on a 30-year fix for the 30-year term is about $580,000 of interest. That goes up considerably higher if you're to keep this loan for 50 years. Now, if you're over the age of 50 or 60, probably don't need to worry about the term being 50 years, but it's good to see the difference if you did. In this example, you'll see that there's about a $550,000 difference in interest expense for the term of 20 years or longer. So let's talk about the trade-offs here of why that might not be the best idea for you. The longer run you have the debt for, the more the compounded interest takes effect. We want to keep that compounded interest as low as possible. So if you were to take a 50-year term, you'd be paying a lot more of your wealth into the payments. That would take away from your appreciation and almost make you feel like you're renting the property that you own. That's not really the goal of homeownership. The goal of homeownership is to have an investment that makes you appreciation with a beautiful place to live and call home. So in this example, you'll see that the orange line represents the 30-year term and how that gets paid off. And then in the 50-year term, you'll see that there's the blue line. So again, it's important to know before you owe. So what may seem like a better payment temporarily of $275 actually adds up to about $550,000 more over the life of the loan. So in this example, I would not do a 50-year term. There are other great solutions out there that we have, like interest only versus principal and interest. But the biggest thing is to look at the duration of time that you're going to have the loan for, your payment on the mortgage every month to make sure you can make a comfortable payment, and that you have the cash flow to do other things, like maybe put money away in your 401k or retirement, maybe save for college saving for kids, or have a nice vacation. So this is one more tool why we want you to know before you owe. And so please make sure you talk to a local professional that knows the perspective of a 30-year versus 50-year, because it's up to you to make that decision inevitably, but we want to make sure you have the information before you make that decision. Thanks for your time. Please like and subscribe to us and know before you owe. I'm Jim Black, your local lender. Would love to be a resource for you, and see you soon.